It seems like people are being called to live on the ocean now more than ever, or maybe that's just because we see it more on social media. Don't tack! This week we're so excited. We have been given the keys to this 40-foot trimaran, which we've just had like an hour to figure out how to use. So adrenaline levels are high, and we really wanted to take you guys along for this journey to see what the 40-foot's like, to live on, to sail on, and kind of give you guys our honest review on this beautiful vessel.
This is just awesome.
New location, Phuket, Thailand. Not on our Rapido Trimaran, which is still being built, but another brand new 40-foot version. Over the next 3 weeks, we're doing the sea trials for this 40 and next week a 50. It's incredible the team have just trusted us with this job. Join myself and the crew for a hopefully smooth voyage as we sail offshore and anchor up overnight. Yes! Last week we gave you a full tour of the Rapido 40 and we got some comments like, oh, she sure is small and looks super technical and maybe not fit for a family, guys. So I was a little nervous already and kind of keen to prove everyone wrong, but we haven't ever even sailed this boat before and we're throwing our 2 small children and our friend Layla on board who's never sailed. And we're kind of just blasting off, so yeah, I was a little apprehensive. So we've just left the port after just looking through all the safety equipment and stuff. This isn't our boat, so we didn't know where anything was. We still kind of do not know where anything is.
Good.
We just left the dock without a drama, which is a great start. So we couldn't have survived on this trip without Layla. Layla was going to be in Thailand anyway at the same time, so thanks for helping us out.
Yeah, no worries.
Tell us, where are you from and what were you doing?
I'm from Canada. I'm from Ontario. Before this, I was living out in BC in British Columbia, and I was actually working as a nanny. I've been doing it for 5 years on and off now.
And you don't get seasick so far?
No, yeah, fingers crossed. We got the essential oils, the ginger, the gravel. I'm stocked up.
Okay, so Riley is navigating us out of this channel. The one thing on this trip I've been super nervous about is all the shallow patches and rocks, and there's unmarked.
We've got some mighty treacherous waters here, Elena.
Unmarked wrecks and buoys everywhere because you can pick up lots of rope from the buoys, and there are a lot of buoys around here. Okay, we've just caught a buoy. Yep.
We were on engine initially with the mainsail up, hunting for just a little bit more wind so that we could unfurl the headsail and begin. Rapidos in general have an incredibly efficient hull design, which means that we could motor this 6.2 tonne vessel at 8 knots with 2,500 RPM on the Yanmar 30 horsepower engine. Okay, now we need to put the headsail out.
Dad is driving.
Call it a tack, Lenny. Very nice. The wind's been quite fluky, so it's been fast and slow and it's been on the nose, so unfortunately we've had to motor, but I just could not care less. We've got the main up, we've got the headsail out, and as we are able to turn the corner a little bit further down here, then we'll be able to fully sail. But you can feel the power in this boat as we do get those gusts.
Before we left, the first thing I did was ask Richard about all the safety equipment. I learnt where the fire extinguishers were, the life jackets. For those of you who might be new, we're building one of these. It's 60 foot, this is a 40 foot. So yeah, we were just super curious to see how this one sailed and, you know, is it fit for a family? Is it better just for a solo sailor or a couple? Each unique boat design serves its own purpose. EPIRB's up here. It's a good spot to have an EPIRB.
Tacking.
Oh.
Tacking, everyone.
This thing tacks like a beast. Yeah.
That is insane. Holy Toledos.
What are your tacking angles looking like?
Oh, they're not going to be good. It's really light wind, but it rips over and you don't need to do a thing. It's great.
So we've just come out of this marina, coming out of the channel, tacking out here. And then this is our first stop. This sail was also super helpful for us because we do plan to be sailing on our Trimaran at least for the next 10 years. Who knows what'll happen after that. This will be the third boat that we've owned in 8 years. Hopefully this is the one. Actually, immediately what has been like super impressive to me is how much airflow there is in the saloon. I thought it was gonna be hot, but these two hatches just, that's like an air conditioner. Isn't it so nice?
The breeze feels so good.
It's even like colder than normal air. There's no fire, don't say that.
Mama, there's no fire, just pretend.
Okay.
Oh, pretend.
Alright, give me the sail stats.
Well, we're not going super fast at the moment because I've got the small head sail on the self-tacking jib because I'm tacking up a channel. Make sure you stick around for the end of this episode, guys, as I'm going to be chatting with Morrelli and Melvin, who are the designers of this boat. We're going to be talking about what went into achieving such a phenomenal vessel, both aesthetically and ergonomically.
I only bought one change of clothes. New fragrance.
One thing I would change from this boat, you just gotta have a real mirror.
Great new product that I've been trialling for a month now. There's an Australian company called Surf Mud, who I have zero affiliation with. They're just smooth and goes on nice. Does the job, doesn't bubble up.
There's no wind, we completely lost the wind. So I've just wound in the head sail, and once we get out of this channel we'll hoist the other sail. Hopefully the wind comes back. SV Adamus was Richard's vessel, and we only had a few days to sail, which meant we couldn't really pick our weather. We'd just have to work with what we were given, and although some stronger winds would have been nice, this was also a perfect introduction back into boat life for our boys, who haven't sailed since our Arctic trip voyage last September. No, we can't go in the Amma right now. It might be a bit hot. We can have a look though. Do you want to go have a look?
Why is it hot?
Huh?
Why is it hot and so smelly? Why is it not dancing? Why is it not bouncing?
For those of you who have been watching for a while, you will know how much we love and appreciate Athletic Greens. AG1 is a formula that we drink every day and have done for the past year. It was really easy to get Riley to start drinking it, which he's not particularly good at, and a part of the reason why that was easy for him is because it actually tastes so nice. I could kind of describe the flavour as like apple, but nothing too strong. It's really just perfect. It's fresh. Fresh is a good way to describe it. It's so convenient that everything that we need for the day is all in this one drink. It has pre and probiotics for your gut health, adaptogens and antioxidants, and you just mix it with water. That's all you need. You don't need to disguise the flavour with something else. You just put one scoop with every 8 ounces of water, one a day, and bam, you've bridged that gap in your daily nutrition. We have really needed that on this trip where it's kind of like eating is the last priority. If you're yet to try, I highly, highly recommend doing so. And Athletic Greens have a really nice offer for you. They're going to give you 5 travel packs for free, as well as a year's supply of their vitamin D3 and K2 drops. It's been nice to put our mind at ease, apart from receiving my next batch. The mail situation when you're constantly traveling is hilarious, but it's worth it for AG1. Go and check it out. I'll pop the link in the description box below, or head to athleticgreens.com/SLV.
So we've come out, we're not going to go right into the middle. Well, normally I would go up there where it's completely protected, but we want a little bit of wind. So we're going to sort of anchor, not in the middle of nowhere, but kind of.
There's one other boat here.
Now she goes down fast.
I'm just going to reverse on that now, and hopefully it digs. That's a good sign. It means we're not moving backwards, because this would be going crazy. Yeah, it's time to get off the boat. The kids really want to run around. There's probably going to be bugs, so we might have to leave
Go and make some friends.
before sunset. That's usually the situation. Bugs come out in about an hour. Do you guys want to be in our video?
Oh, we don't mind.
Yeah? Okay.
Nice to see both of you here. Hello, we are going to the beach. Yay!
Our first anchorage of our trip was Koh Yao Yai, which actually translates to Big Long Island. It's characterised by sandy shores, mangroves and fishing villages. The water is a lot cloudier this far north in Phuket. It's actually a famous breeding ground for shrimp. We were looking forward to heading further offshore next week on the 50-foot try and sticking on our dive masks. Toilet's not wet so far. And you might not get the toilet wet because there's nothing worse than when someone else has a shower and you have to go in and use the toilet and it's wet and it's just disgusting, to be honest. You might get away with this. I'll let you know by the end of the boat trip. We might be having a wind here. The only problem with that surf mud is it really does feel like you have mud on your face all day. It's so thick. So I'm feeling light and clean after that shower.
At night time, you want to minimise noise, lift everything out of the water that you can, and tie everything down that you can in case a big squall comes through. You've got to leave in a hurry or whatever you got to do. I'm going to leave the tender in the water because I can't be bothered picking it up.
We've got to tie up this halyard. The halyard's making noise. Riley and I are quite annoyed at the moment because we cannot get the banging to stop in the mast. We've tightened them, but they're still banging, and that's so loud. Like, Riley just said to me before, he said, how much healthier is this lifestyle? And I'd totally forgotten just how much healthier you are when you live on a sailboat. Like, you eat less, you're in the sun all day, for a little bit too much, in the salt water.
You're just busy.
And you're drinking lots of water. I don't know, you're
getting your 30 minutes of Andrew Huberman sunlight into the eyeballs pretty early in the morning.
Sunlight bright and early in the morning, and you're tired by the sunset. That's just the way life should be lived. No artificial lights.
Moving more.
And I'd totally forgotten. After today, I just cannot wait, like, even more to get on our Trimaran.
Yeah, no, I'd really forgotten what it was like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Today go how you expected with the sailing and everything?
There wasn't enough wind. The only thing that continues to surprise me is how big this boat is for only 40 foot. So we have 3 adults and 2 children on here, and it's totally fine.
How long have you been awake for?
Just 1 minute and you wake up
Okay.
when I'm sleeping.
Okay. Does anyone else find that their kids sleep so much better on a semi-rocking boat? When you know the anchor's dug well and you don't have a squall surprise you in the middle of the night, it's just bliss. We're just pulling up the anchor to leave. Main sail's up, we're about to unfurl the head sail. So Riley's just loosening this line so that when we unfurl it, nothing gets stuck. Okay, that would have got stuck. We're heading dead downwind right now, so we really don't want to jibe. So that's something we're looking out for right now, and these rock islands, which we're going to come pretty close to. Do you reckon I should fly the drone? Okay. So this isn't self-tacking, which is why I'm just concerned, because if Riley needs a hand and I've got the drone up, I guess I can always ditch it, but yeah. It was very chill. Crazy vertical limestone structures and caves are what coastal Thailand is famous for. The tallest of these tower up to 400 metres, or 1,300 feet, above the water and are some of the world's most visible and famous examples of karst features. They rise steeply out of the water with distinctive features such as sinking streams, sinkholes, caves, springs, and fluted rock outcrops.
So what I'm doing, I love being a kook again. I love not knowing where the lines are. I love having to plan 3 steps ahead. I love not feeling super confident that I can just get everything done in a really short amount of time. You have to think differently. You got to always be planning the what if, and then if that happened on top of that, what would you do? How do we do that? How do we do it fast? What are the potential problems, rather than have we done all of the things that we know we need to do? Like once you become really familiar with your boat. So where are the little tangles going to be which will stop us from dropping the mainsail really quickly? Forrest told me about an old surfer who was like, it's really good to be a kook again, frequently, often, or like as much as you can, and I agree, I love it. But yeah, I really feel like Elena and I got the hang of this to a certain extent.
Okay, we've just caught a buoy.
Can you put it through here?
Yep. Oh God. Okay, yep.
For the non-sailors out there, what has happened here is a buoy line from what is probably a crab pot has gotten stuck in the seafoil subsea appendage.
It'd be 20 nautical miles in a straight line, which it never is, back to our spot at the marina. We were stoked to not have broken anything of Richard's and to notice that nothing came loose nor needed replacing. Also, I can finally confirm that the 40-foot Rapido is fit for a single-handed sailor all the way up to a family of 4 full-time and even 6 people for short periods of time. We could happily call this place home and not get claustrophobic, probably until the boys were teenagers and we needed a bit more space. So there's my final thoughts on that.
So we got 7.5 in 9.2, 7.6 in 9.3. So we're 1.5 knots under wind speed, which is pretty good. It's very, very good. I think this screecher should be bigger on this boat. And honestly, I think the mast could be just a fraction bigger. Although I haven't sailed it in 18, 22 knots yet. It feels like it could handle it. It's so flat. Yeah, we're doing 8 knots. This is
Yeah, this may as well be a
100%
cat.
level.
This
Yeah,
is like a cat.
It's just dead level. We might be 3 degrees or something, which is basically flat. I've just had another little play, and now we're doing 8 knots in 9 knots of wind. So I'm just honing it. So if we go to the 40, this is the VPP here. The green line is the jib with full main, presumably, and the wind speed has got the circles around it. If that's 10, that's about 9. So we should have been going 9 knots, and we're going 8 knots. So that's pretty close. I don't know what percent that's going to be. 10% less. Pretty fantastic for the VPPs to be that close, especially considering I wasn't trimming. I was just sailing with the kids inside, like we didn't have anyone there trimming at all. So you can see as we build up into higher and higher speeds, in 25 knots of wind, you'll get 35 knots of boat speed at a 95-degree heading from the wind. Pretty crazy.
Mama nailed it! Yeah!
It was very impressive leaving and coming, truly.
Ah, thanks.
Better than I helmed.
Richard, we love this boat.
Yesterday when you left, I went on the 50.
Yeah.
And it was like going from the 1.5 bedroom starter home to the mansion.
I bet.
It was now time to check in with the actual designers of this boat, Morrelli and Melvin. This would be to discuss all that we've experienced in relation to the design of this 40-foot vessel. Bonjour! How you going, mate? I've got Eric Burzens here from Morrelli and Melvin. He and I have been discussing boat design for years now. But what is the role of a boat designer in the whole process? What is it you say that you guys do?
I mean, that's a loaded question, but basically we design the whole boat. In general, we make a 3D model of the boat, we figure out its shape, its kind of hydrodynamics, how it moves through the water. We figure out the weight of it, how strong it needs to be, and how many layers of fiberglass or carbon fiber it takes in different areas to be strong enough, to be stiff enough. You're basically building a house in a car or a race car and combining it all together.
Okay. So people come to you with a dream and you sort of turn it into a reality.
We try to. The hardest part is realizing what exactly the customer wants. Our biggest challenge is really figuring out what is it that we're trying to deliver to each specific client that makes it the best product for them.
The Rapidos are now a production line of trimarans. What are the safety features that have been built into the Rapido line of boats?
These boats are meant to be kind of semi-race, but also meant to be able to live aboard. There's a lot of systems involved to make the boats sort of redundant and safe. One of the biggest things is the large number of watertight bulkheads, both in the floats and in the main hull. The whole boat's designed to CE, kind of offshore, category 0, I think, which is sort of the highest level structure, kind of global design rules. The boat's also set up to be pretty easily handled, short-handed.
Cool, man. And fire?
Fire, yeah, there's fire suppression systems in the engine room. The engine room's kind of isolated, which is nice. So it's separated from the living space. It kind of gives you different rooms, different areas to seek shelter in if there's a problem somewhere else on the boat.
Okay, brilliant. All right, mate. Well, thank you very much for your time. I'm sure our audience will be very happy with the extra information there.
Sure, happy to share anytime.
Don't forget to tune in next week. The 50-foot takes us by surprise and we're hit with a serious mast-related disaster.
Alright.
It's battle stations! What do I do? Which has nothing to do with Rapido and everything to do with the terrible idea that is called in-boom furling.